So I'm doing the spark plugs on my M235 N55 engine. This is about as far as you need to do as far as taking everything off. You don't need to take the strut bar off. That can stay there. All you got to do is get the wire out of that rubber and fiddle with this cover mechanism here that goes all the way across here. It's a little bit of a tight fit. And all you need is, you really need this tool. That's a nice thin 14 mil 12 point. You need that for sure. A nice long extension like this guy. You can get in there and you can get all your plugs out. You'll need a slightly shorter one for number 5 because it's going to come off on a bit of an angle, and an angle is not what you want for these guys. You got to be really careful because the plugs are in there in such a awful way. If you can see, the plug hole, like the hole that this is going into, and the plug aren't on the same angle. And so the problem is that you need a super thin wall socket to get in there. And then you just got to be careful when you're trying to torque it or remove them so you don't snap them off because of the bad angle. But all in all, the job wasn't bad at all. Most of the stuff can just sit here and move it out of the way as you need. These guys, just get the bracket off of there. The collection of parts that I had to take off for this little job is here. So this is the cowling piece that I'm talking about. It's kind of big and a little tight to get in, and everything else is just pretty basic stuff. There's the bracket for the wastegate, solenoid wiring and all that stuff here. I was a little leery about this job just because of the way these angles are. I actually bought a snap-on socket. $90 snap-on. I figure, you know what, you might as well have some good tools, right? I like my good tools. But turns out that damn socket wouldn't even go in the hole. Wouldn't even go in there. So there's what it looks like with 60K. Now that's 60,000 kilometers. They recommend some kind of backdrop here. They recommend 100K, but I decided to change them at 60K. A couple of reasons. Actually, the first reason, the most important reason, is I don't want to find out what these things are like at 100K, how tight they're going to be. And actually, they weren't that bad. It was actually not a bad job at all. Anyway, thought I'd just throw a quick little update to make so everybody knows that I'm still kind of alive. If you like this kind of stuff, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate that. This is all the maintenance I need to do on this car, other than what's left is to suck out the differential fluid and put some new differential fluid back in this thing. At 60K, I'm doing a lot of services. Everything's up to date on this thing. Nothing's been skimped. Cooling system was done just a little while ago at just under 60K. Brake fluid wasn't flashed. It was flashed with the dealer. It's not due for a while. But this particular guy, I tend to keep him pretty up to date. He's my beauty. So anyway, that's what it looks like with while you're doing the plug job. And really, number 5 is the only guy that might give you a little bit of clearance issues. But don't go through the trouble of taking these bars off. I don't even have that socket. That particular guy, I don't know what size he is. I don't have him. I'm not going to go run out and buy him. So it's a little bit tighter to get this cowling piece back in and out of there, but little patience and it'll work out just fine. So all in all, I've been on this job here now for about 20 minutes probably, and I'm just going to stick in number 6 and we're going to call that a day. Torquing them up to 200 inch-pounds, which works out to just under 23 Newton meters is what they say. And they stop and they tighten slightly and they're torqued, and that's it. Very simple. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Later.